everyone, and welcome to the daily newspaper analysis, which is brought to you by LawSikho. Today, we have a very interesting editorial for a discussion that we have taken from the Indian Express that talks about the Cooperative Societies Act, basically the cooperatives, and specifically what changes have been brought after bringing the Ministry of Cooperation. Then we have the news update and legal news for the day. So the title of this article is Changes to the Co-ops Act. So the Lok Sabha has referred the Multi-State Cooperative Societies Amendment Act 2022 to a joint committee of the Parliament. Now we already know that whenever a special consideration or a special look out to a particular act in the Parliament is to be given, so such act for very deep consideration is sent forward to the joint committee of the Parliament. Similarly, the Multi-State Cooperative Societies Amendment Act 2022 has been sent to a joint committee. The proposed amendment has been heavily criticized by the states, claiming that the same will take away the rights of the state governments. Let's see what is going on in this entire issue. So the centre has claimed that the amendment in the general shall overhaul the laws that had been existing for the last 20 years, and it is just merely an amendment or basically a modernization of the very particular laws. Initially, the cooperative banks were under the Ministry of Agriculture. Basically, if we generally also talk about the cooperatives as well and banks as well, they were under the Ministry of Agriculture. And we all know that agriculture as a subject comes under the state. So it was on 6 July 2021 when a separate cooperation ministry was carved out with Amit Shah, that is the Home Minister of India, as its head. Now, definitely when we talk about the different lists that we have in the Constitution, the union list, the state list, and the concurrent list, many a times there is a tussle between the topics or the subjects of the concurrent list. But we should be noting here that very clearly and precisely, agriculture is a list that it is a subject of the state list, but still a topic or a subject that is a sub point of the Ministry of Agriculture, that was the cooperatives or the cooperative banks to be precise over here. They have been legislated upon by the Parliament, and that definitely is something that it should have done in the case of a union list subject. So many a times we've seen that this kind of tussle between the center and the state, especially in a federation like India, has been witnessed. A very good example of this can be the 3 farm laws that were brought by the Parliament, and they were again to do with the agriculture only. Now they were brought by the Parliament, but again the states were under a great protest that it was their right to decide upon the given topic and not the center's or not the Parliament's right. That is why ultimately after the protests of months and months, we all know that those 3 laws were retracted or they were put down by the government. Let's see that what are the proposed amendments in the 2022 Amendment Act. Firstly, new rule for merger. So in case if the cooperative societies want to merge together, there is a new rule over here. So for a merger to happen between 2 cooperative societies, majority of not less than 2/3 members present and voting shall be required for the resolution to be deemed as passed. Here is a very interesting question for you all. When I talked about this merger and majority of not less than 2/3 members, can you recall of some other provision that is there in the Constitution of India? I will give you a hint that a very famous case of Kyoto Holohan versus the Chilu is related to this topic. If you know this, pause this video right now and let me know in the comment section below. Secondly, new election authority. So the bill also seeks to put in place electoral reforms and institute an electoral authority to do the same. The authority shall consist of chairperson, 1 vice chairperson, and 3 other members appointed by the centre. Please note here that this appointment will be done by the centre. Thirdly, criteria for the chairperson. No individual who has not held the post of additional secretary to the Government of India or an equivalent rank shall be eligible for the post of the chairperson. The vice chairperson will have had to be in the authority of a joint secretary. Fourthly, gives shape to the 97th Amendment, which states that the right to form cooperative societies is a fundamental right. So we all know that after the 97th Amendment to the Indian Constitution, right to form the cooperative societies was made a fundamental right. Again, I would like to ask you guys that do you know that right to form cooperative societies is a fundamental right under which particular article or which fundamental right of the Indian Constitution? It's a very easy, simple answer. I hope you'll be able to answer. So if you know, let me know in the comment section again. Then we have section 104, White Clause 37 of the bill, that shall be amended to include stricter punishment as well for any kind of violations. And there is also provision of ombudsman, that is the government is aiming to insert chapter 9A that shall allow the centre to appoint 1 or more cooperative ombudsmen who shall deal with the complaints raised within 3 months. And lastly, the bill also aims to start a cooperative rehabilitation, reconstruction and development fund and shall bring in reforms for the concurrent audits as well. So let's see that what would be the fate of this particular Amendment Act in the coming times, and hopefully that if at all this is anyway any kind of colorable legislation, that is not done, because it will definitely hamper the spirit of the Indian Constitution. Let's see, what do we have for news updates today? It's a kind of a Bollywood entertainment news rather, but of course an achievement for the Indian cinema. So SRK, that is Shah Rukh Khan, the only Indian to feature on British magazine's list of 50 greatest actors. So Bollywood superstar Shah Rukh Khan has become the only Indian to be named in an international list of 50 greatest actors of all time by a prominent British magazine. The 57-year-old actor is included in Empire magazine's list, which also recognizes Hollywood giants like Denzel Washington, Tom Hanks, Anthony Marlon Brando, Meryl Streep, Jack Nicholson, and many others. Secondly, new translocation site for Asiatic lions. So Gujarat's Bada Wildlife Sanctuary, located near coastal city of Porbandar and 100 kilometers from Gir National Park, has been identified as a potential second home for Asiatic lions. This comes after the 2013 Supreme Court directive to transfer the Asiatic lions in Gujarat to Kuno National Park in Madhya Pradesh. Thirdly, country's first ever surety bond insurance product. The Union Minister for Road Transport and Highways, Shri Nitin Gadkari, launched one of the India's first ever surety bond insurance product from Bajaj Alliance. Surety bond insurance will act as a security arrangement for infrastructure projects and will insulate the contractor as well as the principal. The surety bond insurance is a risk transfer tool for the principal and shields the principal from the losses that may arise in case of contractor fails to perform their contractual obligation. If at all you're preparing for banking exams or SEBI also, this news is very important for you. So please keep a note of it. Fourthly, Union Territories are top performers in Social Progress Index. So most of the Union Territories, including Puducherry, Lakshadweep, Chandigarh, Dadra and Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu, and Andaman and Nicobar Islands have ranked higher on India's Social Media Progress Index 2022 list. So while Puducherry topped the chart, Jharkhand and Bihar ranked the lowest in the list. Fifthly, youngest to claim 5-wicket haul on Test debut. So it is the leg spinner Rehan Ahmed, who has broken Pat Cummins' record as the youngest men's Test cricketer to claim a 5-wicket haul on his debut to put England on the brink of a historic 3-0 sweep in their first Test tour of Pakistan in 17 years. Sixthly, fifth Scorpene-class submarine Vagir. So the fifth submarine of Project 75, Kalvari-class submarines, yard 11879 was delivered to the Indian Navy. So this is important news for us, as Project 75 includes what exactly it is: an indigenous construction of 6 submarines of Scorpene design. These submarines are being constructed at the Mazagaon Dock Shipbuilders Limited in Mumbai under collaboration with Messrs Naval Group France. Launched on 12th November 2020, Vagir commenced the sea trials from 1st December 2022, and it is a matter of great pride that she has completed all major trials, including the weapon and sensor trials, in the shortest time in comparison to the earlier submarines. If you want to cover this topic in detail, you can definitely refer to our newspaper analysis compendium that we have, a current affairs monthly compendium, wherein we covered all these topics in greater details. Seventhly, Smart Cities Mission bags Digital India Award for DataSmart Cities. So the Smart Cities Mission bagged the Platinum Icon in the Digital India Awards 2022 under the Data Sharing and Use of Socio-Economic Development Strategy for its Data Smart Cities, Empowering Cities Through Data initiative. Data Smart Cities initiative is a key step in creating a robust data ecosystem that enables evidence-based decision-making in cities. Eighthly, Sethrichem Sangtam wins the first Rohini Nayyar prize. Sethrichem Sangtam, who works with 1,200 marginal farmers and their families in eastern Nagaland, encouraging them to abandon wasteful slash-and-burn cultivation, which helped triple their incomes, was honored with the first Rohini Nayyar prize. Please note that this prize is instituted by the family of late Dr. Rohini Nayyar, an eminent scholar, administrator, and former principal advisor at the erstwhile Planning Commission. This prize, which comes with a cash prize of rupees 10 lakhs, citation, and a trophy, and is given for outstanding contribution to rural development by an individual of 40 years or under. Ninthly, Shankar Chaudhary elected unopposed as Speaker of Gujarat Assembly. In Gujarat, Bharatiya Janata Party MLA Shankar Chaudhary and senior BJP MLA Jetha Bharwad were elected unopposed as the Speaker and the Deputy Speaker of the newly formed 15th State Assembly in Gandhinagar. Can you tell me that if Speaker is the leader, if basically, he is the head of the Lok Sabha in the parliament and the legislative assembly in the states, then who is the head or who leads the Rajya Sabha and in the parliament? Can you tell me? If so, let me know. 10th, R.D. Bhatti appointed as Bihar DGP. So now these news are definitely important for anything that you're preparing for a local exam, that is maybe a Bihar Judiciary or any Bihar state PCS as well. So please note that Rajwinder Singh Bhatti, a 1990 batch Indian Police Service IPS officer, has been made the new Bihar Director General of Police. He currently holds the post of Additional Director General, Border Security Force, that is BSF. He had earned fame for ensuring the arrest of the then strongman and former Siwan MP, Mohammad Shahabuddin, in November 2005. 11th, New Delhi International Arbitration Centre to be renamed. So the bill amends the New Delhi International Arbitration Centre Act 2019. The bill renames the New Delhi International Arbitration Centre as the India International Arbitration Centre. The Act requires the Arbitration Centre to strive to facilitate the conduct of international and domestic arbitration and conciliation, and the new legislation expands this to include the conduct of other forms of alternative dispute resolution as well. Of course, more than arbitration, like we have mediation, negotiation, conciliation, etc. 12th, TMB ties up with Kotak Mahindra General Insurance Company. So private sector lender Tamil Nadu Mercantile Bank Limited has entered into a strategic alliance with Kotak Mahindra General Insurance Company Limited to market the latest general insurance products. This will add a wider variety of offerings to Tamil Nadu Mercantile Bank while accessing a greater customer base. With this, let's move forward with the news updates for the day. Firstly, a bill has been introduced in Lok Sabha to repeal 65 obsolete laws, including one enacted 135 years ago. Yes, that's true. So the Union Law Minister introduced the Repealing and Amending Bill 2022 in the Lok Sabha. The same sought to repeal obsolete and redundant legislations which have been superseded by other operational laws. Secondly, insurance cover for sex reassignment surgery and setting up of shelter homes for transgenders under consideration, says the Punjab and Haryana High Court. So in the case of Yashika Alia Ashish versus Punjab University, Chandigarh and others, the Chandigarh administration informed the Punjab and Haryana High Court that a scheme for setting up shelter for transgender persons known as Garima Greh has already been floated, is likely to be implemented shortly. The administration also let the court know that an insurance cover for sex reassignment surgery was also being deliberated upon, and active steps were taken in this regard. This was all for today. Thank you so much for staying tuned with LawSikho. We hope you liked the session. If you did, do not forget to like it. If you wish to download the PDF of today's slides, you can join our Telegram channel. The link is there in the description box below, or you can also scan this QR code that you can see on your screens right now. Thank you so much.